कार्तिक भोलेनाथ भगवान शिव शंकर। हरि ओम साजन च वज्र संयुक्तम वहीनायोजितं मया दीपं गृहाणदेवस्य त्रैलोक्यं दिविरापाः यानि कानि च पापानि जन्मयन्ति कृतानि च तानि तानि विनाशयन्ति प्रदक्षिणाम पदे पदे। जय शिव ओंकार प्रभु हरे शिवा ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिव ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिव अरमानी ओम हरे 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 प्रभु हरे कोई if you like. You can have a seat. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Shankar. Once again, Swagat and welcome to each and every one of you this morning, joining us from the for those of you joining us on social media. I say Swagat and thank you, pranams from warm and sunny, humid Houston, South Houston, Texas, here at the beautiful Sanatan Mandir. Let us go into Dhyana, into meditation. Firstly, as we commend all of the beautiful bhajanavalis for your beautiful bhajans this morning, Ampuji, especially your bhajans. I was singing out this morning because very seldom when I come in, you've already sung. But this morning I was able to listen to you and all the other sisters. And they have the guitar as well. If you like to play along, well, kathaa, we're all welcome this morning as well. Okay? So we are all collaborating. Let us clasp our hands, bow our heads, and close our eyes in Dhyana and meditation. Those of you joining us online from all over the world, we can ask you to share the broadcast on your walls, on your pages, so that the message of Satya Sanatan Dharma will resonate throughout, wherever the internet reaches, especially any from here in Houston, Texas. We pray. We sit upright, we clasp our hands, bow our heads, and close our eyes in meditation. We drop our shoulders. As we inhale, we say, so. Take a deep breath, we hold it for 4. Exhale, we say, hum. So hum, I and my Father are one. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Shri Ganesha Namaha, Shri Saraswate Namaha, Shri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namo Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Matrupena Samsita, Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Nagendra Haraya Trilochanaya Bhasmangaragaya Maheshwaraya Nityaya Sudhaya Nirambaraya Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Advaita Balaram Eva Shailamadeham Danujvana Krishanu Jnanamagradanyam Sakala Gunanidanam Manaramadhisham Raghupatimyabhakam Vājatam namami. Prema pradipika pihi bhaje sadhare urdhyam tehi ke karaj sakal shubh siddhi kare Hanuman. Vasudeva Sukam Devam Kamsa Charurmardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharate abhyudhanamasadharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham parittranaya विनाशाय च दुष्कृतम् धर्मसंस्थार प्रणामाय संभवामि युगे युगे शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णु भावहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं 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 प्रेम से श्री सत्यनारायण भगवान की जय। We turn now to the very first shloka, the very first chapter of Shri Ram, this beautiful prayer composed by Goswami Tulsidas Ji as he gives praises to Bhagwan Shri Ganesha, Mother Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, and of course Mother Rani, the goddess of speech. It's called Mangalashtakam. We sit upright once again as we chant. Varnanam Artha Sanghanam Rasanam Chandasamati Mangalanam Kartaro Vande Vani Vinayakao Bhavani Shankaro Vande Shraddha Vishwas Rupino Yamyam Vinana Pashanti Siddha Swantastam Ishwaram Vande Bodhamayam Nidam Guru Shankar Rupino Yamashrito hi Vakropi Chandraha Sarvadar Vandate Sitaram Gunadram Punyaranya Vivahino Vande Vishuddha Vidyano Kavishwara Kapishwara प्रेम से भगवान रामचंद्र की जय। Devotees, Pranam Pujya Vinayaka, Bhagwan Shri Ganesha, the removal of all obstacles. This morning, let us focus our thoughts, our attention now on the feet of that elephant-tusked son, the darling son of Mother Parvati and Bhagwan Shiva. I worship Bhagwan Shri Ganesha all day and night, that elephant-faced Ganesha, who is like the sun on the lotus feet of Mother Parvati, and he gives many boons. And the bhajan says, "Oh Ganapati, every day I prostrate before you. Your lotus feet takes away all my pains and suffering." I want you to remember this statement in this morning's kathaa. He is the remover of all obstacles, and He is the one that takes away all pains and suffering. All we have to do is submit to Him selflessly, unconditionally. Each day I meditate with my hands, O Lord, my mind, the Lord of strength. Remove all obstacles from my path. You are the Lord of strength and intelligence, the Son of Shankara. Your mercy is limitless, and your kindness has no bounds. Let us lend our voices as we sing this beautiful mantra, this beautiful bhajan, composed by the late Dadaji, Padma Shri Hari Om Sharanji. Shuklam Bhadram Vishnu Shashivaranam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarvavigno Upashantaye Agjanan Paramarkam Gajananam Anisham Anekdantam Bhatanam Ekdantam Pasmahe Ekdantam.
ตั้ง 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 ตั้ง
निष्दिन नमो गणपति चरण निष्दिन नमो गणपति चरण निष्दिन नमो गणपति चरण गणपति चरण जग दुख हरण गणपति चरण जग दुख हरण निष्दिन नमो गणपति चरण निष्दिन नमो गणपति चरण संताप सब मन के हरे मंगल सदा गणपति करे संताप सब मन के हरे मंगल सदा गणपति करे Swami ki Jai. Devotees, when we wake up in the mornings, in these parts, the southern states where I live on the southeast coast in Florida, we are very fortunate that we are able to see the rising sun. Many of us even wake up in the hour called Brahma Muhurat, which is between 4 and 6 a.m. before the sun rises, to read that energy of sunrise. When you awake before the sunrise, like I am, and you sit in meditation and dhyana, and you await the rising of Surya Narayana, there's a different type of energy that emanates when that sun comes out. Well, the sun doesn't come out anyway, right? We rotate around the sun. But it appears to come out or uplift from the horizon. Beautiful sight indeed. It is most powerful. It brings tears to the eyes. When I was a little fellow growing up in Trinidad, my parents, my father's mother, late Aji, God rest her soul. Aji never went to school a single day. She could not read or write. She was illiterate. But all Aji needed to do was to plant rice in the garden, and to make garden holy and cassava and okra and these things, and cut sugarcane. But you see, Aji was very smart because from her ancestors coming from India, Aji would wake up every morning. She'd wake me up, "Beta, take a bath, come with me." And she would go stand in the front yard and wait for the sun to rise. She would take a load of water, half her head would be covered with a orni, and the other half of the orni sits on her hands like this. She places the lota on the orni on the hands. Says, Beta, go bring me a red flowers. Normally we have hibiscus in multitudes. Pick a hibiscus flower and place it in that look, and she baked like this. Come, Beta, stand with me, pray. And I'm looking, I said, what is this crazy lady doing, waking me up from sleep early in the morning, going to offer water to what? The sun? What is she going to get from this? I didn't know what Maharaji was teaching me then. It's later on in life I realized that prayer enlightened her and me too for the entire day. Because when you seek that blessing from Surya Narayana lights up your world. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. What a beautiful way to start your day. So if you didn't do it this morning, I'm not saying to get up 4 o'clock in the morning, but if you can, there's no problem. Wake up early in the morning before the sunrise. I'm sure you can catch a glimpse of the sunrise, even if it comes over the trees. But feel the energy, that Shakti of Surya Narayana. Today's Sunday, we worship Surya Narayana, we glorify him with this beautiful chant. I want you to clap your hands. I want you to feel the energy. I want you to sing aloud. Tubhyam namami Narayana. This is the mantra that Maharaj taught me many, many years ago. Let us sing. Prem se bolo Surya Narayana Bhagavan ki. Tubhyam namami Narayana. Tubhyam namami Narayana. Tubhyam namami Narayana. Surya. Tubhyam namami Narayana. Narayana. Simply, Tubhyam namami Narayana. All it means is Surya Narayana, prostrate before him, offer up water. And if you have a chance to even, I think your beach here is what, Galveston, right? Galveston Island. So if you have a chance to go down to the beach, even better yet. But I don't know if the sun rises in the south, normally rises in the east, right? Anyways, this is our prayer offering to Surya Narayana. Growing up in primary school, one of my primary schools, I went to 2 of them. One of them was operated or administered by the Sanatan Mahasabha. It's a school that I grew up in Trinidad. Both my parents were educators, they both retired, but they taught at the same school for many years. And some of you in the audience actually were schooled by my parents. A bhajan that was taught to us at a very young age, even at the age of 5, I met little, what's her name again? What's your sister's name? What's her name? Vinaya. I met her last night. And she was telling me she was so excited to go to school at 5 years old. You know, a bhajan that became a household bhajan, so to speak, in many homes. It says, "O Lord, today we are blinded by the darkness of ignorance. O Lord, grant us with light," we speak of light, that wisdom so that we can follow the correct path of life. We are lost within the sorrows of darkness of ignorance. Lead us through your reasoning, your rays of blessing. We speak of the rays of Surya Narayan. To be able to discriminate wisely, to choose wisely. We are your children, and we seek your guidance in your grace and compassion. Bless us so that we can enjoy peace and happiness in this world, and bestow upon us this boon that we pray, O Supreme Lord. Last night we spoke our kathaa. We discussed how to go back home, how to reach or how to achieve what's called Atma Nevedya, how to attain moksha or salvation. This morning we glorify Bhagwan, a bhajan that is very, very familiar. I'm sure all of you know it. I want to hear all of you sing. You all sound so beautiful, and those of you online as well joining us, sing along with us. Share the broadcast, share it to the world as we sing. आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। You don't even have to answer. I can see it on your faces. You see what happens when we come together like this, in unity, in oneness, and chant the name of Bhagwan? Last night I said to you, how many of you went to sleep over here yesterday, went to bed last night, chanting the name of Bhagwan? How many of you? Yes? Very good. You didn't take any problems to sleep, right? Never do that. Remember? That is not good. Even if you have a challenge, something big is happening the next day, think about it. But when it's time to sleep, I want you to go into meditation. Put on some bhajan. Like we said last time, all the clouds are available. Choose one and just play. Just a chant. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, whatever name of Bhagwan. This morning, as I promised you last night, I'm going to leave you with these bookmarks. There are 2 prayers on the bookmarks. Let me read them out to you. Firstly, a morning prayer. This is especially important for the children. By the way, Bhagwan understands English. I keep saying this. And he also understands the language of your heart. And what purer heart is there than these children? They're just getting started in life. A morning prayer, it goes like this. Upon waking, every morning, it says, O Lord, I am born now from the womb of sleep. I am determined to carry out all tasks this day as offerings to your lotus feet. With thy feet ever present in my mind's eye, make my words, my thoughts, and my deeds sacred and pure. Let me not inflict pain on anyone, and let no one inflict pain on me. Direct me. Guide me this day. How can you go wrong? And in the evening, at night, when you're ready to go to sleep, when you enter the portals of sleep at night, prayer says, O Lord, the tasks of this day, whose burden I placed on your lotus feet this morning, are over. It is you, O Lord, who made me walk, talk, think, and act. I therefore place at your feet all my words, my thoughts, and my deeds. My task is done. Receive me. I'm coming back to you. The words of Bhagwan Sri Sai Baba. There are many of these here. The kids will pass them out later. I'm sure all of you can take one at home. Also, a little bit of marketing. My social media profile is on the back of this. If you haven't had done so, please like and follow me on social media. My journey truck takes me across all of them. Like I said last night, I'm only home one week, minimum 1 week per month. I travel all over, doing what I love, and being with you, wonderful devotees like you all over the world, and to share in such a Sanatan Vedic Dharma. This is my mission in life. Devotees, we go to the feet now of Guru. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parat Brahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. My brother Pradeep, he sang a beautiful bhajan this morning. What was the lyrics of the bhajan again? Guru Matra Pita, Guru Bandhu Saka, Tere Charanam mein Swami Tere Koti Pranam. Mother and father, my Guru, you are my Guru. And when I'm at your feet, it makes me feel as though I'm in the company of Bhagwan Shiva. Very powerful bhajan, very deep bhajan. When I'm at your feet, O Mother and Father, it makes me feel as though I am in the company of Bhagwan Shiva. Those of us this morning, whose parents are alive, take every opportunity while they're alive to bow to their feet, to kiss their feet, shed tears and wash their feet with the tears, not water. That is more significant than not tears of convenience or fake, the real tears. The ones when you say, Ma, your eyes, they well with tears. Why? Because of love. Yes, so when you sing a bhajan sometimes, when you chant a mantra, sometimes your eyes well up with tears. That's the love, that's the connection, that's the one-on-one connection that we have with God. Bhaiya sang a beautiful chant this morning, calling names of God with his guitar. Oh, how divine! I commend you. May Bhagwan bless you and continue to chant. Devotees, a beautiful bhajan, we glorify Guruji this morning. I'd like all of you again to please clap your hands and sing. Anilya Priyatam Devu Bhagavan Janaki Pati Shri Ram Chandra Purvesha Asmekam Guruvevatam Prashanti Sai Prashanti Shivaya, Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Shivaya, Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Shivaya, Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Prashanti Sai, Oh Prashanti Baba, Prashanti Sai, Prashanti Baba, Shirdi Sai, Krishna Samai, Shirdi Sai, Krishna Samai. Namo Namo Sai, Hello Hello Sai, Namo Namo Sai, Hello Hello Sai, Sai Namo Namo, 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 Sai Prashanti Sai, Prashanti Baba, Prashanti Sai, Oh Prashanti Baba. Shivaya, Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Shivaya, Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Shivaya, Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Shivaya, Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Prashanti Sai, Oh Prashanti Baba, Prashanti Sai, Oh Prashanti Baba, Shirdi Sai, Krishna Samai, Oh Shirdi Sai, Krishna Samai. Namo Namo Sai, Hello Hello Sai, Namo Namo Sai, Hello Hello Sai, Sai Namo Namo, 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 Sai Namo, Sai Namo Namo, Sai Namo, Prashanti Sai, Oh Prashanti Baba. Praise Guru Shri Guru Maharaj Ki. This morning I say welcome to Pandit Panditji as well, other Pandits, those of you joining us online, and to you, the wonderful audience, Shrotas as well, joining us here at Sanatan Mandir in South Texas. I'd also like to welcome viewers on Bhakti TV, as this broadcast is replayed on Bhakti TV. Out of Trinidad, my dear brother Pandit Satyanand Maharaj Ji. My dear mothers, fathers, gurus, reverend Pandits and Panditas, uncles and aunties, nieces, nephews, brothers, sisters, friends and relatives, children, my dear godchildren, grandchildren, and my children. My son, Keshav, is here with me this morning. He's joining me in the back, Sita Ramson. And blessed are we to be here amongst each other in Satsangh. We give praise and thanks this morning to Bhagwan Shiva, that majestic Lord who resides on Mount Kailash. Purify our minds, our bodies and souls, O Lord Shiva, and heal this planet from the negativities that are affecting all of us today. Chidananda Rupaham, Shivoham, Shivoham. Praise the Lord Shiva in this month of Shravan, Master of the three worlds, whose eyes are everything, the remover of our pains, our sorrows, and the giver of blessings. O Lord, from whose mighty locks flows the Ganga, give shelter upon us. O Shiva, with your ashes, your body's victory, into the dweller of Mount Kailash. On your neck you wear a mala of beads. Around your waist you wear the deer skin, and your body is smeared with bhasma or the ashes. On your forehead shines the moon, and playing the music with your damaru, you destroy the wicked, and you, O Lord, use the trident as your weapon. This bhajan is very, very popular. Again, I ask all of you to blend your voices and join and sing with me. In this month of Shravan, very, very important that we pay worship on the Visi Sister Bhagwan Shiva, especially on Mondays, his auspicious day, one of his auspicious days. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahi Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Shiva Prachodayat Tanno Rudra Prachodayat Shivaya Rudraya Namaha. Jai 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 Tripurari, Jai 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 Tripurari. Hello. Jai Trilochan, Jai Dukhamochan, Jai Trilochan, Jai Dukhamochan, Jai Mangal Hari, Jai Jai Tripurari, Jai 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 Tripurari. Mukti Pradayik Sharan Charange, Ishgata mein koi tilange. Mukti Pradayik Sharan Charange, Ishgata mein koi tilange. Anga babhusar maaye bhole, Jai Kailash yourselves a lovely round of applause for singing and chanting and clapping this morning. You see, we must continue doing this so as to infuse the positive energy, positive vibrations. Let me also take a minute this morning to commend my dear Ganesha for doing such a marvelous job in upholding such a Sanatan Vedic Dharma in these parts. May Bhagwan Shiva continue to shower his choicest blessings upon you and your family. Give Panditji a lovely round of applause. And to Panditji also for joining us this morning. Thank you. Koti dhanyavad. This morning's kathaa, or the theme, is one that we are all very familiar with. And it's called unity. It was selected because of its importance in our daily lives. We just came out of a little over 2 years of lockdown. We had a chance to bond with our families, with our loved ones, by being together in the same, under the same roof, so to speak, or within 4 walls. It surprises me that in most cases there was disunity and not unity. Why? Because you see, the norm was that people would leave the house, they would go to school, they would be at work and so forth. So it wasn't enough of time spent together. Maybe 4 hours in the afternoon, you come back from work, or the kids came home from school, maybe a couple hours in the morning, that was it, and then weekends. But being together 24/7, 365, it created a lot of problems. As a pundit, I can tell you, many have called and reached out for help. It is sad. But this time that we had together should have been a time for bonding. Should have been a time for reaching out to a friend or relative. Many we know who contracted the virus. How many of us reached out and said, "Are you okay? Can I drop something, drop some food, maybe some refreshment, maybe some medication for you?" Unity. Why is unity important? We shall use our scriptural references, as there's a plethora of them, to demonstrate further how this concept is so critical to humanity. The sun, we spoke about Surya Narayan this morning, the sun is one. But we can see the sun's reflection wherever there is water. And you can travel to any part of this cosmos and be able to see the sun. The sun is still one. There are not 10,000 suns that appear in every country. You see the sun's reflection in the ocean. You can see it in a river. You can see it on a glass pane in buildings. You have beautiful buildings here in Houston. You see it in water vessels. And if you pour water in a plate, you can see the reflection of the sun, or even in a thali. Does it mean that the sun is in the water? I want you to follow me carefully now. When you put the water in a thali and you look at the sun appears in the thali as a reflection. Does it mean that the sun is there? Or there's another sun in the thali? No. It is just a reflection. It's the same way that this Atma, if we relate to the sun now, the soul that exists in every single one of us, it is the same. It has come from the same source. Have you heard of anyone or any scientist or any country in this world able to make an Atma or to make a soul? Has anybody invented this yet? Normally the boys in China do it before anybody else does. It ain't happening. No. You see, it is beyond comprehension, this Atman, yet every single one of us, we are part of that. We have a soul. It is located in the 32nd vertebra. We point to the heart and say the soul is not there. It's in the 32nd vertebra, down the spine. That is where the soul resides, because there's an energy source that emanates from that position. The heart is here, yes. Bhagwan resides in our heart, but the soul resides in that vertebrae. Devotees, this mind, the intellect, this subconscious mind that we all have, and the ego are all different vessels. Thereby, unity is oneness. Every single living creature, especially human beings, we are subject to what's called moha. You know what moha is? Attachment. My, me, my, mine, I. Everything is I in this, right? iPhone, iCar, iCloud. Let's not without iChildren. Everything is I. It's about I. Have you ever been to a Catholic church? Anybody? Have you been to a Catholic church? You notice what's in the front of the church? What is in front of the church? The cross. You know what the cross symbolizes? Cut the I and become mine. That is what it symbolizes. Cut the I, which is ego. And what does ego stand for? EGO. What does it mean? Anybody? What's the acronym ego? Edge God out. Don't edge God out, you're in trouble. Edge God out. Cut the I, your ego. Breaking away that moha or attachment. My car, my cell phone, my land, my this, that, the other. nothing goes back to us, with us when we leave this plane. It prevents us from gaining moksha because, believe it or not, the Pandits will tell you, many times we have to walk into an ICU in a hospital. Someone's in the last breath, they're dying on the dying bed. And you ask that person to chant the name of Bhagwan, Ram, Krishna, Allah, whatever religious background they are. And they are able to. Instead, Baba, you make sure you share your land or your car and things. That's what they worry about. At that time, it's a pristine moment. Bhagavan Krishna tells us in Bhagavad Gita, chant the name of Bhagwan, chant my name. It will bring you closer to me. Devotees, this capacity to transition from attachment, moha, to moksha. Moksha means liberation. It is all up to us. We can do it. And how do we do it? By giving up things that are useless or valueless. And I like to use an analogy. We all have desires in life. I want. And what happens, let's take a little child for example. My son used to ask me for a PS5. He can ask me for a year and a half PlayStation, Sony PS5. That's the biggest craze now, right? Especially during the pandemic. And everywhere you look, you couldn't find one. So every time he placed an order, it got cancelled because there was no inventory. He became unhappy. That is a desire that is not being fulfilled. So could you imagine if he wanted 10 different, I'm just using him as an example, you and I in this case. If we have so many desires and they are not being fulfilled, what happens to our happiness? Or unhappiness, sir? You become unhappy. It outweighs the desires. And when you are constantly unhappy, you can never put a smile on your face. Why? Because you're worried. I couldn't get this, I don't have enough this, I need this. Why Pandit says have a driving a Mercedes Benz and I can't have one? Pandit, you drive a Benz? No? Okay. These are the types of things that we worry. They have more value than chanting the name Rahman. It's like a cancer, no pun intended. Get rid of these desires. Remember, last night's kathaa. Not even a blade of grass will move without the blessings or the will of Bhagavan. So if something, as we say in Trinidad, what is to is, go is, kalo will, you don't understand this term. What is supposed to happen will happen. I was worried about being late this morning. Panditji gave me he scolded both of us last night. As far as time for puja, I told my son, boy, we need to be there before 10 o'clock. 9:58 people have been in the driveway. What had to happen if there was an accident on the road, God forbid, or if there was traffic, we would have been late. But this had to happen. This was mandated. We are all supposed to be right here because God willed it so. Don't ever question that, devotees. What the eyes see, these physical eyes, is superficial. Nothing is real, it's Maya. That which is truth lies beneath or behind. When you can, I'm not asking you to turn your eyes inside out, but when you can see behind what is in the eye, what is inside, that is what matters. Because this will die and go, this body will die and go. But what is inside, hopefully will go back home to Bhagwan, where we all came from. What does unity mean? Anybody answer this question? I'm going to pick on that. What does unity mean? Togetherness. Togetherness. Beautiful answer. You gave ourselves last night? Extra bag? Alright, so you get extra bag again this morning to answer the question. It is not a combination of many things. It is a realization of oneness. And you see what you're practicing here? In Sanatan Mandir, that is oneness. I applaud you for that. And to those of you listening online as well, oneness. Never let the four walls of a mandir prevent you from worshipping your God. I repeat this. Never let the four walls of a mandir prevent you from worshipping your God. I'm going to go a little negative now because there's reason for this. And this does not apply to you at all. There are institutions in this, I shouldn't say country because it happens all over, in this world today, that people are being told you cannot come in here because X, Y, and Z reason. You cannot come into my mandir. Whose mandir is this? Does it belong to Pandit Seth? Does it belong to Lily? Whose mandir is this? Say, home of God. How could you say to another human being, you're not welcome in my mandir, regardless? If the person has done something wrong or is a bad person, this is the place to change it. This is the place to correct it and to turn that leaf over so that we can all go back to Bhagwan. Don't take on any negative sin, any pap and punya. Shri Ram, love all and serve all, selflessly. This vast gathering of people or devotees, it will appear to the spiritual intellect as a garland of multicolored flowers. Multicolored flowers, beautiful flowers. Thank you very much. But it is strung. What is it strung on? Single thread, right? One thread holds all of these flowers together. Develop this vision, devotees, and see the one behind the many. Right? Understand what I'm saying? Without this thread, this mala becomes a bunch of flowers. And that thread is unity, Bhagwan. Very important. This is called the Brahma Sutra. And that string that attaches to each of the flowers, it's not the collection of the flowers, but it is a garland. A good example, when I'm speaking into this microphone, and Christy, thank you very much. It's sound system, perhaps one of the best ever here in Houston. Great job. Blessings to you. By the way, you could willing to travel with me anywhere I'm going. I'll take you with me anytime. Sometimes we travel and we have what's called a sound system, brother. Sound system don't work at all. This microphone, it causes you to listen to my voice. It's projecting my voice. The speaker is one, but the same voice is being heard by many, and the hundreds joining us online as well. One voice, traveling through the microphone, traveling through the waves of the internet. The voice is being carried. Bhagavan says, Eko ham sarva bhutanam. I am the only reality in all beings, not some, not a few. Even the Rakshasas in Ramayana, in Mahabharata, in the Bhagavad, they also are part and parcel, but they came on earth for a different purpose. Ekam sat vipra bahuda vadanti, Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Truth is one, but the wise refer to it by various names. With a fire of love burning for the Lord in our hearts, through the intense devotion, and with our minds constantly fixed on Him, a devotee is guaranteed to find the Lord. Guaranteed to find the Lord. Let the divine feeling flow in the heart, and let the light of faith continue to shine. Dispel any pollution from the mind, and let compassion flow like a stream. Let the Lord will definitely visit this devotee as we develop a yearning for touching the feet of Bhagwan. Let us blend our voices, devotees, as we sing, chant, clap, and glorify Bhagwan. Very powerful bhajan as we sing. With love in our hearts. Prema priya gana ho, bhakti sagan ho. Prema priya gana ho, bhakti sagan ho, man mein lagan ho. Prabhu mil jayenge, Prabhu mil jayenge, Prabhu mil jayenge, Prabhu mil jayenge. Do sing. Prema priya gana ho, bhakti sagan ho, man mein lagan ho. Prabhu mil jayenge, Prabhu mil jayenge, oh Prabhu mil jayenge, Prabhu mil jayenge. हृदय में भाव हो, अनुनय इच्छा हो, हृदय में भाव हो, अनुनय इच्छा हो, आराधन का गाओ, मन खिल जाएंगे, मन खिल जाएंगे, ओ मन खिल जाएंगे, मन खिल जाएंगे। तो प्रेम की अगन भक्ति सगन हो, मन में लगन हो तो प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, सिंह प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, ओ प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, प्रभु मिल जाएंगे। श्रद्धा की जोत हो, मन में न खोट हो, श्रद्धा की जोत हो, मन में न खोट हो, करुणा का स्रोत हो। प्रभु श्री आएंगे, प्रभु श्री आएंगे, प्रभु श्री आएंगे, प्रभु श्री आएंगे। तो प्रेम की अगन हो, भक्ति सगन हो, मन में लगन हो। प्रभु हर्षाएंगे, प्रभु हर्षाएंगे। तो प्रेम की लगन हो, भक्ति सगन हो, मन में लगन हो तो प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, प्रभु मिल जाएंगे। नारायण धन्य हो, छब में मगन हो, नारायण धन्य हो, छब में मगन हो, अर्चन मगन हो तो प्रभु दर्शाएंगे, प्रभु दर्शाएंगे, प्रभु दर्शाएंगे, प्रभु दर्शाएंगे। तो प्रेम की लगन हो, भक्ति सगन हो, मन में लगन हो तो प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, 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 प्रभु मिल जाएंगे। प्रेम से मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम भगवान रामचंद्र की जय। प्रभु मिल जाएंगे। We yearn for the blessings of Prabhu. Devotees, we ask yourself a question again this morning. Why is unity important? Not you, Nanya. Why is unity important? Anybody? Why is unity important? Come on, for a free extra bag of prasad. Unity is important to remove disorder and conflict in this world today. You see, we see disorder, we see violence and conflict everywhere we turn. Our Swami says this world is like a sick man, afflicted with many ailments. And what is the cure for this? What is the cure for disunity? Firstly, we must share our selfishness. Selfishness, I want, that greed and any other bad qualities that rise above the animalistic nature. You know, in Ramayana, when Lord Rama went to the sage Valmiki, the hermitage of the sage Valmiki at the beginning of his exile, he asked the sage Valmiki, in Ayodhya Khan, he says, Guru, tell me, I'm going to be in this forest for 14 years, where should I reside? And the sage Valmiki then said to Shri Ram, he says, Prabhu, you know the world like it is though it's a plum in the palm of your hand, and you are asking me where to reside? And then the sage began to sing Goswami Tulsidas Rai. He says, Kam Krodha Madhmana Moha Lobhan Chobhan Ragna Droha Jinhke kapat dambha nahi maya Jinhke hridaya Masahur Ghuraya Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Raghupati Raghav Raja Rama Kam Krodha Madhamana Moha. O Lord, reside in those hearts of those individuals whose hearts are free from greed, anger, hypocrisy, deceit, jealousy, malice, hatred, dishonesty, the 9 negative qualities. This is how we eliminate these qualities from ourselves to become united. We must cultivate something called charity, unselfishness to achieve purity. And through the purity of our hearts, man will achieve unity. And unity leads to divinity. This is our goal. Unity leads to divinity. If anything in a home, in a mandir, in an organization, in a corporation, anything that does not have unity, there can never be divinity. There will always be friction. There will always be fighting. The Upanishads, especially the Taittiriya Upanishad, it dealt with this at length on this Atma principle. And I quote this morning, It says, if only one developed faith in this Atma, the Atma principle, one will succeed in our endeavors. Therefore, unity is the entire creation of God. But mankind causes many divisions in it, like the war we have going on right now in this world. The unity of the entire mankind is the need of this hour. Especially during this pandemic that we just came out of. There's still remnants around. but we are to be united. And through sacrifice, we'll come to know that our real nature is charity. Our real nature is charity. My guru once taught me, he says, son, you should never do this in society. Instead, do this. Never take, never ask for anything. God knows, God provides. Always be willing to give. That's charity. And give selflessly. Give, but don't look for anything in return. There are many today who perform acts of charity, but they're looking for fame and fortune. I did this, I did that, that was mine, I gave this, that's my murti, etc., etc., etc. No. You lose the value then if it's not done selflessly. Through sacrifice. Now, charity does not mean that you have to give some money to an individual or organization. They give, yes, but don't look for anything in return. A tax receipt should be enough if you give to a non-profit group. Devotees, the removal of all evil thoughts that are within you, that is true charity. Removal of all evil thoughts that are within us, that is true charity. And charity will in turn confer upon us purity. And once you have purity, there will be unity. Once you have purity, there will be unity. And once there is unity, we can reach divinity. I'll give you a good example of deep unity. We go back to Ramayana. Rama and Lakshman, there was such a strong bond of love between these two, as well as Bharat and Shatrughan. So Rama and Lakshman was a pair and Bharat and Shatrughan was the other pair, even though they were four brothers, but they were united like this. They never left each other's company. This is why Lakshman says, when Rama was exiled to the forest for 14 years, he said, I am going with you. He left his wife, Urmila, back in Ayodhya. He left his mother. He left the kingdom, he left his nice, comfortable palace, room and bed and so forth, all the servants, instead to don basic garments and walk barefoot with his brother in the forest for 14 years. You see how much power unity holds? Union is strength. In today's world, what we see taking place is a quest for power. Unfortunately, when one does not feel satisfied with results, we break ties and ranks and then form a new group. This happens all over. The quest for power causes this. And what happens then is that we manipulate others to follow along, to suit. Devotees, when you don't speak to each other and don't develop unity, you achieve nothing in life. Even if some feelings of enmity arises within you, try to adjust it with each other. As a Pandit, I know of many families in this world, from yesterday and even now, where brothers and sisters, siblings, they don't speak to each other. They don't speak to each other. For what reasons? Whatever reasons. Materialistic. In some cases, when one of them passes, the one that's not speaking shows up. And they cry the biggest tears that anybody else can see in that funeral. What value does it have then? When the person was alive, we didn't speak to him, but now that corpse is there, the soul is gone, the atma is gone, but we are here to shed tears and create this big, big show. Let us not be like these people. There was once a dog that went into a room filled with mirrors. There were many mirrors in the room. And this dog, as he walked in, he saw many dogs in the room because of the mirrors. Many dogs. And when dogs see other dogs, what do? They start barking, right? They want to fight. He was afraid that there were so many dogs around him. And considering them to be now a danger after barking, and as he was barking, obviously the reflection is barking at him at the same time. So he's like, what's going on here? He made a jump now to escape from the situation. Jumped upon one of the mirrors. And what happened? Considering his own reflection to be that of a dog, it broke the mirrors in that process. And then it felt absolutely like now there were no other dogs in the room once the mirrors broke. He felt relieved that he could save himself from all these other dogs in his mind. But where there are so many dogs, where are there so many dogs? It saw its own reflection in so many mirrors. People today have become playthings in the hands of selfishness, devotees. And one does not take even one step forward without selfishness. And you can understand this divine Atmic principle only when you get rid of this selfishness. If you cannot find your path in this world, then come with me, the bhajan tells us. True friendship is like a burning torch, always giving the light to continue. And this is the principle of life. Without love, there's no loneliness. Without love, there is loneliness. And one without love is like a corpse. If you believe in true friendship, then you should come here and let me be your guide, away from sorrows. And why should someone suffer because he is in darkness? Let this partnership, this friendship prevail. Devotees, if you know of anyone who is suffering, anyone who is not having a very good session or good time in their lives, reach out to that person. If you haven't spoken to someone for many years, a simple phone call or text message, just to check in and say, hello, how are you, my friend? How are you doing? And say these words to them when the person answers the phone. I love you. Devotees, we sing this beautiful song this morning. This is my Shri कोई जब राह न पाए मेरे संग आए के पग पग दीप जलाए मेरी दोस्ती मेरा प्यार मेरी दोस्ती मेरा प्यार कोई जब राह न पाए मेरे संग आए के पग पग दीप जलाए मेरी दोस्ती मेरा प्यार मेरी दोस्ती मेरा प्यार जीवन का यही है दस्तूर प्यार बिना अकेला मजबूर दोस्ती को मानो तो सब दुख दोस्ती को मानो तो सब दुख कोई कहे तो करे खाए मेरे संग आए के पग पग दीप जलाए मेरी दोस्ती मेरा प्यार मेरी दोस्ती मेरा प्यार दोनों के हैं रूप हजार पर मेरी सुनी जो संसार दोस्ती है भाई तो बहना है प्यार दोस्ती है भाई तो बहना है प्यार कोई मत नैन चुराए मेरे संग आए के पग पग दीप जलाए मेरी दोस्ती मेरा प्यार मेरी दोस्ती मेरा प्यार मेरी दोस्ती मेरा प्यार मेरी दोस्ती मेरा प्यार There is love in every one of us, every one of you, online as well. There is love in every one of us. What is the form of love? What is the nature of love? I give him a person. See what's it. When we analyze carefully, we realize that love is not limited to human beings alone. It is present in all living beings. How many of you have pets at home? Don't you show your pets love? When you scratch your dog on the neck, doesn't he show you back love? Licks you on the face and so forth. Love exists in every single being, devotees. When we analyze carefully, we will realize that love is not limited only to human beings alone, but all living beings. Every being is endowed with a quantity of supreme love. Supreme love. We give our pets names like what? Munna. Not so? What are some of your pets' names? Tell me.
Michael.
Huh? Michael? Really? We're going to talk after the kathaa.
Ushak.
Huh?
Ushak, my possum.
Usha?
Milo.
Milo. That's a good drink. Sweetie, honey, sugar, all these names we give our pets. Because of love. genuine love, and they show us back. They protect us, that's all. Devotees, everything in this world is bound to change, except the principle of love. And by the way, L-O-V-E, the most powerful four-letter word in this entire universe. Love can create peace. Love can stop wars. Maybe somebody tell these fellows up in Eastern Europe. Love can stop wars. As I close this morning, love is the only true and eternal path which will lead us to divinity. Love. When we sing with love. When we perform our puja, both Pandits did a beautiful puja this morning. Perform it with love. When we come before Bhagwan, we come with love. Our prasad, our offerings are all encased with love. Love is the only true and eternal path that will lead us to divinity. And divinity pervades in every limb of the human body. I repeat, divinity pervades in every limb of the human body. It can be visualized only when we utilize the principle of oneness. Oneness. When we start seeing each other as one, equals. We are all equals. Nobody's greater than anybody. We are equals. And when divinity is uniformly present in all, how can you share your love with someone and deny it to others? How can you share your love with only some and deny it to others? That is not divinity. That is not what our scriptures teaches us. It happens in homes today where parents practice this. Well, that's my eyeball, I like him more than my other son. Colloquially, we use this term. In order to attain divinity, first, we must cultivate unity. In unity lies true culture. And unity is the ideal that man has to attain. Any mighty task can be accomplished through unity. I repeat, any mighty task can be accomplished through unity. Building of a home, a temple, building of a community center. You can never attain this if you do not give up the feeling of diversity. In other words, this separateness, I am better, or this one is better, or this race is better, class, all these things. You can never attain divinity if we don't give up this thing called diversity, the differences. And to transform our conscience into consciousness now, we have a name and form. Chaitanya, awareness, this is what it's all about, Chaitanya. Awareness has no form. Chaitanya has no form. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. That lingam, if you look at the lingam, many people ask, what's the shape of the lingam? Anybody, what's the shape of the lingam? What is that shape? How do you describe it? Is it a square? Is it a triangle? Is it an oval? Is it a cylinder? What is the shape? Trick question. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am formless. I am shapeless. I am tasteless. I am Shiva. Has no form. There's no end. A couple years ago when I came, I think we were celebrating Panditji's birthday. We did Shiva Kathaa. We spoke about Brahma and Vishnu fighting to find the end of that Shiva Lingam. They could not. This is the power, this is the magnitude of the Lord of Mount Kailash. Prem se bolo Mahapati Mahadeva ki Jai. This consciousness that we speak about, when we understand this principle of not being diverse, being one, that unity will take us forward and give us Atma-Nivedana. As I close this morning, understand that the mind is most important, this mind that we all have. But what is the use of japing malas, we say, rotating the rosary 108 times? Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, all these different mantras. But the mind is not there. The mind is on, Baba told me to do this 10,000 times, when I go finish praying. That's what the mind is. If the mind is not on Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Shiva, your japing mala has no weight. No value, wasting time. You're wasting unnecessary time. Talk about the lawn or something instead. Devotees, if the mind keeps rotating around the world, rotating the Japeri Mala has no value. That's called Chanchalman. When we have a steady mind, our lives will be redeemed. Do you remember in Ramayana again? When Lord Rama visited the hermitage of Mandir, and Shri Ram, who was hunchback, only looking down at the beautiful marigold flowers as she was making that bed for the Lord to walk upon with his tender feet. Her mind was fixed, her mantra was Hey Ram, 24/7, 365. And when you call him like that, do you think he will not come? Oh Palanhare, Nirgun aur Nyare, Tumhare binu hamra kaun nahi. Tumhare binu hamra kaun nahi. Oh Lord, when you are with me, nothing else in this world matters. Once you are with me, oh Lord, I don't care about anything else. You are all that I need. Raja Ram Chandra ki jai. Devotees, do not ever let your mind vacillate between good and bad, unity and divisiveness. Focus on it at all times and only focus on what is good. That principle of unity. And that is a royal road which will lead us to the experience of truth. Satyam Vada and Dharmam Jara. Stay away from these things called conflicts. Walk away. And I'll give you a piece of advice, very, very good advice. You've had a lot of good advice this morning, but here's I think the icing on the cake. Whenever you approach a situation or conversation where a person in that conversation is ill-speaking someone else, chant Jai Shri Ram and walk away. Do not participate. You know what you're doing if you participate, if you add fuel to the fire? You are going to pull some negative karma down as well. You have to answer for that. And especially that person is ill-speaking another pandit or your guru. The worst insult or the worst sin or part that you can do. If you stand and listen to someone ill-speak your guru, oh gaya. As they say in Trinidad, your goose is cooked. Don't ever make that mistake. It is written in our scriptures. Walk away. Chant Jai Shri Ram and walk away. And think about it. When someone infuses you with negativity, let's say I want to scold Nandaji and I tell Panditji, you need to buy this girl a watch because last time she gave me the wrong time. And we start going on, well, boy, Nanda always has this problem, she can't keep time, she always late to temple and so forth, we go wrong like this, and this using as an example. That is power, that's punya, I'm taking on by condemning a devotee, another human being, just like me, she has the same Atma. This needs to stop, devotees. In our culture, in our environments, in a lot of temples, a lot of religious organizations, those of you listening online as well, this happens today. Let us stop this nonsense. Do not get involved in that. I will leave you with this last note now. When we are born with a spiritual bank account. You've heard this before. Not the TD and Chase and Washington Mutual. Now we have Chase and I forget the other banks. I bank with Chase, I know the other bank. These banks, we are given a spiritual bank account when we are born, so the little children, of course. And from day one, we accumulate good and bad karma. The good karma is a debit. Good karma is a credit. Bad karma is a debit, right? Now, every time we do some good act, we are depositing into that spiritual bank account. And when we do negativities, we are withdrawing from the account. The plan is, and the goal is, that when we are to leave this body and leave this material world, when that day comes, that judgment day, so to speak, comes, make sure that the spiritual bank account has a surplus of blessings or good karma. Make sure the negative karma doesn't outweigh the positive karma, or else we're in trouble. Look for Yamraj. This is the concept, devotees, and this is what unity will give us. It will give us interest into that spiritual bank account, and that's what we're looking for. Prem se bolo Bhagwan Ramachandra ki jai. Think God, see God, hear God, eat God, drink God, and love God. And this is the easiest path to the royal road of a goal of breaking ignorance and achieving Atma Naivedhyam. Brothers and sisters, there's a mention in that last statement about eat God. How can you eat God? What do you mean by this? When you partake of food, whenever you partake of food, you must notice us Pandits, we sit in the back, we take our water, we do Achman, we bless the food. But always offer, scriptures teaches us, the first mouthful of food, Krishna. give it to Lord Krishna. It's mentally, that is, or Lord Shiva. Right? Offer. First to Bhagwan, touch it to your forehead. Bhagwan, I offer to you first. Then you eat your food. You will already, you have barakat in your kitchen. Your kitchen never runs out of food. Devotees, it's been a pleasure sharing these 2 sessions of devotion with you. We are approaching our close-off time now. And as we bring this session of devotion to an end, we thank all of you, especially for the Seshji, members of this beautiful Mandir, Brothers Chris and Pradeepji and families, and to all of you who are coming from near and far last night and of course this morning to share in our kathaa. I look forward to coming back many more times. We were talking about this last night, to plan for next year perhaps, and to be with you, to share with you. And I look forward to your feedback. When you have a chance and you get one of these bookmarks, please connect with me on social media. I look forward to your feedback, questions on, these things we can infuse in kathaa. Sometimes people are a little bit shy to ask questions in person. Please, you can reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help. You all have a very, very effective Sanatan Dharma establishment here. Pradeep is doing an amazing job with the children. Keep it up. Give him a lovely round of applause, please, and his family. And certainly, Dharma is alive in South Texas, in Houston, and Dharma is well. As we close, we sing a beautiful bhajan. Salutations to the Lord, the protector of the poor and the sorrowful. Thou art the source of the divine bliss which flows in the sacred Ganga. O Lord of Parvati, thou art the protector of the herd. We praise thee whose head is adorned with the moon. You are the source of happiness and divine bliss. You are the blue throat, ensures peace, and you are the remover of worldly sins and fears. We sing the beautiful bhajan. Shiva Shambho Dino Ki Bandhu Namo Namaha. I'd like to hear all of you lend your voices as we join. Mangalam Bhagavan Shambho, Mangalam Vishwa Bhakta Bhaya, Mangalam Parvati Natha, Mangalam Bhakta Vatsala. Shiva Shambho Dino Ki Bandhu Namo Namah, Namo Namah, Girjapati Gandhadhar Hari Har Namo Namah, Shiva Namo Namah. Bolo. Balihaari Mahadev ki Jai. Let us celebrate for a few minutes. Hey Prabhu, thank you for giving us this opportunity this morning to come into this beautiful ashram among such wonderful devotees, to sing, chant, to glorify and to listen to your pravachan. Prabhu, give us peace, health, strength and prosperity always. Give us good health. Bless all those devotees who have joined us from near and far, here at the Mandir, and also those joining us virtually as well. We thank you, O Lord, and we ask for your divine blessings upon one and all. Kathaa visarjan hotu hai, suno veer Hanuman, Rama Lakshman Janaki, sada karo kalyan. Ek gharyano dhari, aado mein punyar, tulsi sanghat sahiti, hati khote aparar. Sroda sabya samgaye, shambhu gaye kailash. Ramayan mama hriday maha, aan karahu tum paas. Prem se Umapati Mahadev ki jai. कोटि कोटि धन्यवाद. जय जय सीताराम सबको. अनु जी.
Sitaram to all again this morning, and firstly, by the blessing of Bhagavan Shiva Shankar, that gave us this beautiful day to listen to Ram's kathaa. We are fortunate to have this moment in our life to come for these few hours and to glorify the feet of Bhagavan. Through the lips of our Vyasji, who have really given us so much this morning for us to think about and to follow also. He sang so much beautiful songs, and one of the songs he sang, Mere Dosti Mere Pyar. Some of you might not know where this song comes from, but the song came from a beautiful movie called Dosti. And I remember when you go into the cinema, and when you're leaving, you see people, tears coming out while the movie is going on. They're not howling and crying, but tears are coming out because they feel the love and affection between two friends. So much that the emotion, they cannot speak, but it came out through love, through the eyes and tears. Babaji, yes, these bhajans are so meaningful that, if you think about them seriously, how it is, show the relationship with two friends. One a blind friend, and one a friend that is destined to have nothing. And how one helps the other, and what happens at the end? Success at the end. Today, the gist of our kathaa, as our guys was telling us, is unity. Unity. And there's many quotations from our scripture. Jaha sumati ta sampati nana. Jaha sumati ta sampati nana. Jaha kumati ta vipatra nidana. First thing we have to do is understanding. If we do not have understanding among ourselves, unity will never come. Think about this seriously. We have to understand each other. Sometimes one of us will talk rough to other, sometimes one will talk lovely to each other. And all these things comes in life. But unity cannot come unless you have understanding. And sometimes understanding comes from not much. Babaji was talking about his grandmother, Aji, teaching him a simple thing. A simple thing, offering a lot of water to Sri Ram. And that simple thing, he takes today And here he is. He's sitting here and distributing wealth to us in that simple teaching. Because he understands the power and the glory of that teaching. So first, my dear devotees, let us have understanding between ourselves. Sumati means understanding. Kumati means if you don't have understanding, you won't have Vipatidhana. Only negative things will come between us. And our friendship will break up. Our family will break up. Everything will break up. And you know, they have a saying, Mandir also break up. If we have any message today. Mandir will break up. Because why? As Baba said, somebody run down the street, some down the street, some down the street, by the time you it, you have 10 different sections. So, understanding is very important. And it all comes from common sense. You don't have to read the book of all these big books and things. You can use your common sense. Like our Vyas, just give us a little of that common sense, what it brings to his life. And so, our humble thanks to you, Yashi, for coming from time to time, and you grace us so beautifully. Looking forward for more time to come. And I ask Bhagavan Shankar to bestow you upon much blessing, and the most important, your health and strength. Because without your health and strength, you will not be able to do what you're doing. All the money and nothing can make nothing. Your Mercedes where you drive also cannot make nothing. Your health and strength is the most important thing. So I want to thank you. I want to also give Bhagavad Pradeep and all the beautiful hands who have come and decorate our Mandir so nice. Let's give them a big hand. As you can see, every time our Vyas come, we have a transformation in our asana. It looks so different. He came in last night and said, Baba, it looks beautiful. I said, yes. It is because of the understanding of devotees who have come, took their time, put their hands together, and do what it needs to be done. And so all of us can come and enjoy it. And I want to thank all the people who have brought bhojan and help us in those things. They want to spread the sheet and who have come just to listen to you. Everyone, we thank you all so much for your understanding, and we hope that this will continue. I want to say a special thanks to Shota, the devotees who sit in front and doing all the puja there. I took my seat and I went over there to sit down, because when I sit over there, I cannot see our Vyashi talking and enjoying the kathaa. So I decided to lift there and go there. I'll ask Padre Nankuar to go up from there and prepare Havan so that we can conclude our Havan. And then we have prasadam to offer. So we'll ask the devotees who have prasad to come and get your prasad, and we'll offer to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And so those of you who have prasad, please come forward and hold the prasad while we make our offering to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. While that is going on, I'm pretty sure maybe somebody didn't sing up a melody yet that wants to do it. Who? All right. Sing up a melody. Okay? And Bhagavan Shri Krishna will enjoy it. Give me a few minutes to just finish up the right.
Anuji, I just want to say thank you very much, Shri Ram, for coming to Houston. And just like you mentioned, your Aji taking you 4 o'clock in the morning before the sun comes up. My Aji used to do the same thing. I used to go with her. And fortunately for the internet nowadays, we don't have to go for 4 a.m. We don't have to go. Because all we have to do is find it on Facebook and play it live, and we can listen to everything again. And just like the reflection on the tali with the sun, you have reflected yourself on multiple servers across the world. And your blessings that you're doing today in Houston, not only for yourself, for us, for the birds, for the grass, for society, and keep doing your Swadharma, and we appreciate it. And it's good that you found your Swadharma. A lot of us don't find our Swadharma. So we appreciate your presence here. Please come back to Houston anytime, and we love you.
Love you too.
And we appreciate you. Thank you very much.
हरिः ओम् सारिञ्चमच संयुक्तं महीनायोजितं मया दीपं गृहाणदेव त्रैलोक्यं जगदापाहं यानि तानि च पापानि जन्मयन्तर्कृतानि च तानि तानि विनाश्यन्ते प्रदक्षिणां पदे पदे। जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे जो ध्यावे फल पावे दुख बिन से मन का स्वामी दुख बिन से मन का सुख संपत्ति घड़े आवे सुख संपत्ति घड़े आवे कष्ट मिटे मन का। ओम जय जगदीश हरे मात पिता तुम मेरी शरण कहूँ किसकी स्वामी शरण कहूँ किसकी तुम बिन और न दूजा तुम बिन और न दूजा आस करो जिसकी। ओम जय जय जगदीश हरे। तुम पूर्ण परमात्मा तुम अंतर्यामी स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी। पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर तुम सबके स्वामी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम करुणा के सागर तुम पालन करता स्वामी तुम पालन करता। दीन दयाल कृपालु दीन दयाल कृपालु कृपा करो हरना। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम करुणा के सागर तुम पालन करता स्वामी तुम पालन करता। दीन दयाल कृपालु दीन दयाल कृपालु कृपा करो हरना। ओम जय जगदीश हरे।